In a shocking turn of events that shook the music world, Elvis Presley's beloved mother, Gladys, passed away suddenly, leaving behind a legacy of love and sacrifice. On a typical August morning, everything changed in an instant. Elvis, who had just begun advanced tank training at Fort Hood, found himself torn between his military duties and the urgent need to be by his mother's side. Gladys, the pillar of strength for the Presley family, had been struggling with health issues, but her passing was unexpected. It was a blow that would test the very fabric of Elvis's life. Gladys had always been the backbone of the family, supporting Elvis from his early days as a struggling singer to his rise to fame. She had given up her own desires, putting Elvis's needs first, often worrying about the impact of his lifestyle on his health. When Elvis learned of her illness, he left his base to be with her, defying Army rules that typically kept him bound to the base with dependents in the area. His love for his mother transcended regulations. The Presley family home in Killeen, Texas, became a temporary refuge as Elvis rushed to be with Gladys and his father, Vernon, but fate had other plans. 3 days after Gladys was hospitalized with hepatitis, her condition took a drastic turn. Elvis, determined to be by her side, flew to Memphis, Tennessee, leaving behind the comfort of his military life. His mother's hospital room became his world, filled with memories and love. Gladys's passing was sudden and heartbreaking. Elvis remembered the day she died as one of the most painful moments of his life. He held her hand, spoke to her as if she could hear him, and hugged her tightly, unable to contain his grief. The news of her death spread quickly, and soon, Graceland, the Presleys' home, became a place of mourning. Friends and fans gathered, unable to comprehend the loss of such a selfless and loving figure. As the reality of her death set in, Elvis found himself overwhelmed. His usual dignified demeanor crumbled, and he allowed himself to express his emotions openly, something he rarely did in public. The world watched as the king of rock and roll grieved, seeing a side of him few had ever witnessed. His father, Vernon, tried to maintain order, but even he couldn't stop the outpouring of emotion. The funeral was a poignant affair, with the Blackwood Brothers, Elvis's favorite gospel quartet, singing hymns that resonated with the grief-filled crowd. Elvis, unable to hold back his tears, asked for more of their songs, singing along with each note. Over 4,000 people gathered at the cemetery, a testament to Gladys's impact on so many lives. As Elvis struggled to say goodbye, his sobbing grew louder, a raw display of a man losing his anchor. In the aftermath, Elvis found solace in the company of old friends like Dixie Locke. They talked long into the night, reminiscing about Gladys and the simpler times before fame consumed Elvis's life. Dixie, concerned for his well-being, couldn't help but wonder if the spotlight was too much for him, but Elvis was resolute. "There are too many people that depend on me now," he said, his voice firm despite his inner turmoil. Gladys Presley's life had been a testament to selflessness. She had sacrificed her dreams, her health, and her youth for her son's success. Her warnings about the dangers of fame and her concerns for Elvis's well-being had gone unheeded as he soared to stardom. Now, as she lay in her coffin, surrounded by the people she loved, Elvis realized the true extent of her sacrifices. The loss of his mother was a wake-up call for Elvis. He had grown accustomed to the spotlight, but the absence of Gladys's guiding voice was a void he couldn't ignore. As he stood at the graveside, he knew that he could no longer isolate himself. The world outside Graceland needed him, and he was determined to face it, even as he grappled with the pain of losing the one person who had always been there for him. In the days that followed, Elvis would find a new way to honor his mother's memory, embracing the love and support of those around him. But for now, he was lost in a sea of grief, a star fallen from the sky, leaving behind a world that would never be the same. Elvis's life took a dramatic turn when he left for Germany. It felt like he was stepping into a different world. The 1950s were a time when the Cold War was at its peak. Just a couple of years before, there had been big trouble in Hungary. The U.S. Army's job was crucial, to protect Western Europe from any sudden attacks from the Soviet Union. To many soldiers, including Elvis, serving there was seen as a way to do their part for America. Elvis wasn't complaining. He believed in America and felt proud to serve. The military uniform became something he liked to wear even when not required. He felt a sense of pride in the badges and the structure it provided. When Elvis arrived in Germany in October 1958, he felt like he was in a different country, far from home. The country was on high alert against the threat of Soviet aggression. To Elvis, this mission felt like a period of peace and order, or what Americans called Pax Americana. Though he had reservations about being drafted, he found pride in his service and the military life. It was a break from the constant pressure of his career in show business. For the first time in years, he didn't have to manage every aspect of his life himself. The army took over many decisions, which was a relief. His main job in Germany was straightforward: drive a jeep and participate in maneuvers. This change allowed him to breathe a little easier. He often thought about how he just wanted his family and friends back home to see him as just another soldier. Even though the military treated him somewhat differently due to his fame, he still wanted to blend in with the other privates. At his new barracks in Friedberg, Elvis was allowed a special privilege, living off base with his dependents when not on duty. This was something only a few high-profile soldiers got to enjoy. He moved into a house at 14 Gothestrasse in Bad Nauheim. His mother, daddy, and grandma joined him to cook meals. His friends Lamar Fike and Red West also came to join him. This small family setup brought him comfort amidst the unfamiliar surroundings. Elvis's life wasn't all quiet, though. Despite his desire for normalcy, he still had to deal with fans. German fans were just as enthusiastic as those back home. They would crowd around wherever his unit went and even knocked on the door of his house constantly. To manage this, they set a specific time each evening for autographs. But even then, there were times when the requests overwhelmed them. Lamar and Red were already good at writing like Elvis, helping to keep up with the demand for autographs. Being far from home also meant Elvis wasn't interested in exploring Germany or learning the language. His interests were limited. He attended a couple of Bill Haley concerts and enjoyed a holiday on ice show, but that was about it. For a soldier stationed abroad, the allure of home was strong, and Germany, with its fan attention, didn't offer much escape from that. Despite the challenges, Elvis found some friendships that would last. One of the closest was with Joe Esposito, a Chicago-born soldier who had an easygoing nature. They met in Brooklyn before deploying and quickly became friends. Together, they organized a talent show for their fellow soldiers, with Elvis playing the piano. Another significant friendship was with Charlie Hodge, a former gospel singer who brought a sense of warmth and humor to Elvis's life in Germany. These friendships were among the highlights of his time abroad, offering a sense of normalcy and camaraderie in a foreign land. Elvis Presley's time in the army was a period of growth, both musically and personally. When he first joined, he was worried about his voice. But then he met Charlie Hodge, a former singer who taught Elvis how to breathe properly and encouraged him to explore different types of music. This was a big change from just singing the same songs over and over. With a piano and a tape recorder, Elvis experimented with various songs, preparing himself for when he would return to music after his service. He even asked his mother to get new lyrics written for an old song which became his biggest hit, "It's Now or Never." Despite being busy with army duties, Elvis tried to keep his life at home as normal as possible. He continued to live like he was at Graceland, with friends taking care of his uniforms and boots. His free time was spent relaxing, watching movies, playing sports, and listening to music late into the night. Elvis also kept in touch with Anita, his girlfriend back home. In his letters, he asked her to wait for him and promised to marry her, though he admitted to seeing other girls in Germany, saying he never fully trusted fidelity. One of these girls was Elizabeth Stefaniak, a young German woman who worked for the Presley family. Though their relationship was complicated, he would sleep with her but not fully commit. She loved him deeply. She put up with his behavior because of her feelings for him, even though she knew it wasn't fair. During his time in Germany, Elvis also became car crazy, buying expensive cars for himself and his friends. Meanwhile, his father Vernon started an affair with a woman named Dee Stanley, which upset Elvis greatly. Vernon's actions and Dee's loud behavior caused tension between father and son, leading to some distance between them. Elvis didn't go out with other girls like most soldiers would in a foreign country. Instead, girls came to him. Among them was Priscilla Beaulieu, who was just 14 when she met Elvis. Unlike other girls, Priscilla wasn't intimidated by Elvis's fame. She was friendly and outgoing, which made a difference to Elvis. As Elvis navigated his time in the army, he continued to grow as an artist and person. His experiences shaped him, and when he returned home, he was ready to take on the music world with renewed energy and a clearer sense of himself. His journey through the army was challenging, but it also brought him closer to his roots and helped him find his unique voice both literally and figuratively.